In order for me to sign my deal, I had to sit down at a table with Clive Davis, and they had to look at Clive and say, "What do you think about this?" And he was
In order for me to sign my deal, I had to sit down at a table with Cloud Davis, and they had to look at Cloud and say, "What do you think about this?" And he was like, "At Davis's house," and that's where the story began. And then I had to go to like a bunch of parties with Claire Davis. Looks like today's the day we're diving deep into the wild world of Hollywood rumors and the whole rumor mill scene. This corner of the entertainment universe has seen it all from insane parties to hidden romances. See, Liv Davis, the legendary music record producer, well, he's practically a party icon, having hit up some of the wildest bashes in music history. I know some guys who work personally with Clyde Davis, and they had to leave them before they heard Boy the Secret saga between Clive Davis and Diddy, which folks have been speculating about forever, has finally come out of the shadows. Speaking of Diddy, that guy's stacked up quite the fortune in the music biz. Remember Bad Boy Records? Yeah, that's his brainchild. He's teamed up with big names like Notorious B.I.G., and Usher, and his business skyrocketed in no time. But he got that catalog, and he's been making money off of it, and they bought that. Now let's talk about the freshest music industry drama. Ever wondered how a young musician hit it big so darn fast? Well, his close ties with music industry bigwig Clive Davis might just hold the key. Clive, the record producer extraordinaire nowadays, he's making waves for something a bit different than his usual musical genius. His love life. Turns out Clive, who's been married a couple of times before, with no luck, decided to take a soul-searching journey to figure out if he was into guys as well. He opened up about his quest after his second marriage went down the drain, wanting to know if attraction was more about the person and less about their gender. Surprise, he discovered that he could indeed be attracted to men, even though he's still quite the catch. He embraced this new side of himself. Fast forward to 1990, and Clive decided to settle down with a male doctor. They were a monogamous item until 2004, when things wrapped up, and let's be clear, Clive never felt any shame for embracing his feelings and attractions. I never felt shame, no. I felt puzzled. The subject of bisexuality really needs much more discussion. It's a status that does exist. Davis is being coy about who his current partner is, but it's pretty obvious that the Diddy has become a significant part of his life. The two of them are constantly appearing together, attending events and displaying their purported gay identities, and frankly, this is screaming close connection loud and clear right now. Although rumors of Diddy's conquests in the music industry have been around for a long, the fact that they have been together for at least 5 years shines a spotlight on those rumors. Davis has let slip that his partner is basically his plus one at events, and they're jet-setting side by side, which really hints at a pretty tight bond. They haven't come out and said it directly, but their actions and being thick as thieves are speaking volumes, and guess what? People on the internet are all over this. There's this one person who's pretty convinced that Diddy's big break came about in a, shall we say, meow law scene. Diddy Combs was given his bad boy imprint by Arista's Clive Davis, who is openly gay. What scene had to do for riches is not uncommon for successful black men in entertainment and politics. All that glitters is not gold. Run your race. Let the next man run his. Speaking of Clive and Diddy, them showing up as a couple around town, that speaks volumes. You can't miss their frequent appearances together, clearly showing that they've got a long history and some serious bonding going on. It's quite the puzzle to think about how their friendship might have played a role in Diddy's rocketing success in the music world. They've been tight for quite a stretch. Diddy entered the scene in the early 1990s, just as he was rumored to be ending a relationship with a man whose name we won't mention. And let's be honest, Diddy and Clive's friendship has been widely known for years. But here's the really shocking part. Given how candid Clive is about his relationships and sexuality, the fact that he has never officially refuted these rumors says a lot. Diddy, on the other hand, isn't overly excited about the entire situation. When he first met the powerful Clive Davis, he was just a 23-year-old music prodigy. Diddy's hip-hop concepts really intrigued me. Despite coming from fiercely competitive fields, Clive recalls that when they first met, he was looking for an artist who could actually connect with the general public, and guess what? He fit the description. Diddy filled the gap that Clive felt existed because he introduced blue-collar R&B at its height, and sensed the hip-hop revolution brewing. Clive and his colleague Ella Reid recognized the potential and knew they needed someone who understood the streets. Clive had big names like Aretha Dion and Whitney on his roster, all within the same musical universe. Diddy was working at Uptown Records under Andre Harrell, but once he met Clive, everything changed. According to Clive, Diddy had visions of hip-hop entering the mainstream top 40 and spoke strongly about it. He even sang several songs, such as Craig Mack's Flava in Your Ear, and selections by the notorious B.I.G. to further emphasize his point. They began working together once Clive was persuaded. Clive described Diddy as a trailblazer who would lead them into the hip-hop revolution. But this is where things take a turn. There have been a number of quite bizarre accounts. Not just rumors that Clive Davis has relationships with males since their relationship appears to be public. It's easy to see why people might believe that Diddy and Clive's partnership goes beyond business. One person tweeted Clive Davis, the gay fashion designer who helped Diddy set up bad artists who didn't quite make it to the big league. Others claim he was involved with Rent Boys, and that artists who didn't quite make it to the big leagues had some sort of link to him. I never met Clive Davis, but that was him. I never forget voices or faces. He said that he would make me as famous as Mike Jackson and Prince if I slept with gay movie and record producers. Fabulous can attest to this, and this man, who also appeared to be on the verge of signing with Clive Davis, exposed how the industry really was the truth. I rejected the contract that P. Diddy agreed to sign, and as we previously mentioned, Clive hasn't exactly denied the rumors that he and Diddy are more than just friends. In fact, he hasn't really said much about the matter at all. Some people claim that Puff and Tupac had a relationship that was a little more complicated than a friendship. When he told me those shopping, I looked at him like, what did you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something you gonna make me mess up the wedding, according to Vine. Diddy is reportedly not shy when it comes to making moves on male musicians and rappers. Diddy's antics extended beyond 50 Cent. Usher, yup, that Usher, shared some incredible tales about his time spent at Diddy's place, and suffice it to say that things heated up. You can only imagine the stories that place holds. Hey, Reed's idea right. We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor, Usher said. He also talked about how he was introduced to the world of SAC much earlier than he probably should have. It was called a camp where you go to learn stuff, and you're going to puff. Usher said that Puffy's camp was like just filled with